We had to threaten a lawsuit, Jesse. And by the way, we're still entertaining it. We're talking to some of the best lawyers out there that are experts in this. And as you know, these things can be very complicated. There's a lot of facts and circumstances around it. But we're not going to let this go, because you should not be able to smear 5,000 high school and college kids and then just be able to walk away with it.
This Turning Point conference, realities were in the front of out there in the front of the conference with anti-Semitic slurs. And, the cigar.
I think it's important that every single person that attended that Turning Point, every Republican speak up against these, because against the flags that were waved.
You let them in.
President, open your
You let them in and you knew what they were.
Right.
So you are complicit.
But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out.
Joe Rogan just went straight after the hosts of The View with a fiery, no-filter roast that made the whole table feel tense. This was not calm conversation or polite daytime TV talk. This felt like a storm crashing through live television. And the reason was simple. Charlie Kirk had just dropped a shocking $100 million lawsuit, and that move turned everything upside down. Joe Rogan's famous blunt honesty pushed the drama into full chaos. Once he started speaking, there was no stopping him at all.
Charlie Kirk, the founder and CEO of Turning Point USA and the author of the new book, The College Scam. So, Charlie, do you accept The View's apology?
I mean, regardless of whether or not I accept it, the question is, do our students accept it? That's really what's at heart here. They went after our 5,000 students at our event there of high school and college kids. And look, I get attacked all the time. People say false things. I'm a public figure. But when you go after 16 and 17-year-olds that travel from across the country that then have to live for the rest of their life with a shadow over them because someone at ABC says that they might be linked to
Charlie Kirk didn't just respond quietly. He went big and slammed The View hosts with a massive $100 million lawsuit. Yes, $100 million. No typo. No exaggeration. When your name gets thrown around on daytime TV like it means nothing, and you have the power to fight back, you don't stay calm. You don't smile politely. You hit back hard and make the whole studio shake.
So, I mean, The View has to be... if you average out The View hosts, among the dumbest people on television. And so it's like they say the thing that people are thinking, but they say it very directly, so they expose whatever truth. But
I don't think some of them are dumb.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think Sunny Host.
You think it's deliberate?
I think she's ideologically driven, and they have blinders on, for sure. I don't think Sunny's dumb. But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked, half baked, and you went on stage with it. It's nothing there.
Just go for it. Yeah,
there's nothing there. Sometimes comics do that.
This lawsuit is not just an emotional reaction. It's a loud warning with a huge price tag attached. The message is clear: don't mess with me. The View acted like it was open season on Charlie Kirk, throwing accusations around like free prizes on a talk show. Everybody gets one. But the moment Kirk called it out, everything flipped. What started as chatter turned into a wild legal circus no one saw coming.
Now we begin with a shocking apology just a short time ago from the ladies of The View to Turning Point USA. A war of words broke out after the conservative group was rallying the next generation of voters at its youth summit in Tampa, Florida this weekend. And the liberal panel just couldn't help themselves. The group sent a scathing cease and desist letter after hosts on The View suggested that Turning Point had embraced neo who showed up outside the event.
Now, let's rewind for a moment. Not long ago, the ladies of The View issued a surprising apology to Turning Point USA. Things exploded after the conservative group held a youth summit in Tampa, Florida. The panel couldn't help themselves and jumped right into the discussion. Soon after, Turning Point sent a strong cease and desist letter. That came after The View hosts suggested the group supported neo-Nazis who showed up outside the event.
Do you see what Whoopi Goldberg said?
What'd she say?
Whoopi Goldberg said that Biden could arrest all the Republicans and put them in jail. You just need to see how unhinged this kind of thinking is. Well, you know what Joe Biden could do? Joe Biden, you have to see it, because It's so
On TV,
crazy.
she said
on television.
You know, let's look at a scenario where the Supreme Court says, yes, he has all those rights. He is immune from everything.
Yeah.
You know what Joe Biden could do since he is presently president?
What?
He could throw every Republican in jail.
Now, the hosts of The View are busy doing what they do best. They spin the story, act shocked, and pretend this is just a small misunderstanding over a tweet. But let's be honest, it's not small at all. This is a $100 million fight. That number makes normal celebrity drama look like kids arguing over crayons at recess.
Welcome back. You know, in Monday's conversation about Turning Point USA, I put the young people at the conference in the same category as the protesters outside. And I don't like it when people make assumptions about me, and it's not any better when I make assumptions about other people, which I did. So, my bad. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So.
Then Joe Rogan steps in, because honestly, who else would flip this circus upside down? This is the man who turned podcasting into a full contact sport. He didn't offer a small opinion. He unloaded a truck full of sarcasm on the entire situation. Watching Rogan mock The View hosts is like watching a grizzly bear explain how to steal honey better than bees. It's wild, shocking, and strangely satisfying. Rogan's take is pure gold. Imagine a guy who usually talks about UFOs and MMA fighters suddenly roasting daytime TV stars for fake outrage. It's like a master chef judging microwave food. Painfully accurate and brutally funny. His jokes hit hard because he doesn't play by their rules. The View treats everything like a soap opera, tossing insults and drama without stepping into real consequences. Rogan, on the other hand, throws blunt truth punches and then laughs as they scramble to react. And here's the irony. The View loves being loud and righteous. But the moment real legal power shows up, the noise dies fast. Rogan spots the hypocrisy instantly and calls it out with no mercy.
The culture shift between right and left authoritarianism, and now people don't recognize that if you just stop looking at it in terms of red and blue, look at the actions. Whether it's war, suppression of free speech, pharmacological interventions that are mandatory, whatever, that used to all be associated with the authoritative right, the authoritarian right. And now those things are being embraced by the left. And I just think it's just an ideology thing. And I think we get confused and we think we're on the right side. We're on the right side. And if it's our side that's saying this, for sure that's the right thing to do. And no one's critically thinking about this.
Joe Rogan is the gateway drug for young men that thought they were Democrats to become MAGA. Joe Rogan is the bridge. And on that bridge, they'll see RFK. They'll see Elon Musk.
Meanwhile, Charlie Kirk isn't waving his lawsuit around like a shiny trophy. He's sending a serious message about accountability in today's media world, where accusations get tossed around on national TV like confetti. The View may act untouchable, but Kirk's $100 million lawsuit lands like the ultimate mic drop. Loud, crushing, and impossible to ignore it on one side. You have TV hosts who built careers on outrage and opinion, acting like consequences don't matter. On the other side, you have a conservative activist saying, "Not this time." And he's backing it up with $100 million reasons. Then Joe Rogan comes in and turns the whole thing into an even bigger spectacle with razor-sharp jokes that expose how ridiculous it all looks.
I think the problem with that show is that show has this very specific ideological bubble in which they operate in. You know, and they always bring on a token conservative woman and they yell over her and silence her. And, you know, they did that with Meghan McCain and they did that with what is that other blonde woman from Survivor? Do you remember her, Jamie? She was always yelling. I mean, it's a bizarre show.
Now the View hosts are stuck in a brutal mess where their old strategy, shout first, dodge later, is falling apart under legal pressure. And if a lawsuit wasn't enough, Joe Rogan's viral takedown makes it even worse. His sharp humor shows what many people already felt. The View's serious talk often turns into a performance, especially when someone finally pushes back hard. For years, the hosts picked safe targets and played outrage for ratings. But Kirk's lawsuit and Rogan's response shine a bright light on that double standard. The audience is glued to the chaos, watching a daytime TV meltdown with million-dollar stakes. The silence from The View after Rogan's roast says everything. No loud comebacks. No dramatic pauses. Just quiet panic behind the scenes.
Megan, I get it. I also hate Joy Behar. So I don't love you, but I also hate that squawking bird. So I hate the whole thing. And frankly, that show, you want to talk about a show that set women back, is The View. You want to talk about that show. The CIA is engineering, Antifa and fucking the Capitol riot. Some crazy misogynist engineered The View, because there's nothing worse than The View. In terms of, like, there are so many brilliant women out there. None of them are on The View. None of them have gone near the set of The View. I mean, they have brought in the lowest tier of the, what is it, the Y chromosome? No,
Double
X.
X.
Okay.
Double X.
They brought in the lowest of the double X's for that one. It's rough.
This lawsuit isn't just a headline you scroll past. It's a magnifying glass over today's divided media world, where insults explode and lawsuits hit like missiles. The fight between Charlie Kirk and The View is happening right in the center of America's culture war. In today's climate, lawsuits have become weapons. Forget small arguments. Now it's $100 million when your name gets dragged on TV. Money doesn't just talk anymore. It drowns out ratings. When you can't win on camera, you take it to court. Kirk's lawsuit shows how the legal system has become part of media warfare, turning arguments into multi-million-dollar battles.
Her disgusting, gross elitism and her complete out-of-touch nature with respect to the rest of the world. Sunny Hostin goes on The View and decides now would be a great time to dump all over the so-called uneducated.
What we did not have is white women who voted about 52%, right, for Donald Trump, uneducated white women, is my understanding. You have Latino men, actually, voting more for him. And you have, and black men was not the story. We're not the story here, because they voted almost 80% for the vice president.
Right.
Just because you didn't go to college doesn't mean you're stupid, and it doesn't mean that you don't have wisdom. You can go to college and get a bunch of irrelevant facts about how men can allegedly give birth.
On the other side, conservative figures like Charlie Kirk turn outrage into action, rallies, and now lawsuits. This isn't just bickering. It's a full-scale fight for influence. What we're watching is part legal drama, part reality TV, and part circus. News acts like theater, and theater pretends to be news. One moment you hear serious issues. The next, a lawsuit that feels like a movie plot. Viewers are left confused. Should they be angry, entertained, or just grabbing popcorn?
Yeah, did you watch the episode when Tulsi Gabbard got on to defend herself? And Joy Behar starts panicking and going over her notes while Tulsi is refuting everything that she said?
Yeah, I mean, Joy Behar, like, again, these people have dementia. These are people who, like, should not be allowed out of the house. They have a national platform. I mean, it is crazy. They have no idea. These people have never read, like, a book.
And there's versions of.
This lawsuit is a perfect storm of chaos. In today's media world, one tweet can start a fire, one clip can cause a national fight, and one podcast can turn a lawsuit into a joke heard everywhere. No one knows how this ends, but one thing is sure. It won't be boring. This saga shows how news, entertainment, and ego collide. A wealthy activist, powerful TV hosts, and a fearless podcaster all crashing together. And here we are, watching every twist. The lesson is clear. Words have consequences. Opinions might be free, but accusations can cost millions. And in today's media battlefield, the sharpest wit and deepest pockets hold the real power.